Good morning, everyone. So we start our reading session, and we are reading book You Can Heal Your Life, and that is by Louis Hay. And we last week we were reading about how it is important to understand that what is the root cause of every problem you are facing. And then once we understand that it is created by our thought process, the next step is change. Now, before we understand how those steps are to change this thinking process, it is important our willingness and sometimes how that resistance that happens in our mind and how to overcome it. So this chapter is about willingness to change. So make a decision to be willing to change. If you really want to know how stubborn you are, just approach the idea of being willing to change. We all want to have our lives change, to have situations become better and easier, but we do not want to change. We would prefer, we would prefer that they will change. They means people, situations. In order to have this happen, we must first change inside. We must change our way of thinking, change our way of speaking, change our way of expressing ourselves. And only then will outer changes occur. So it starts with changes from your thinking pattern, your words, of course, your expression and everything. Then only you will see the something real change. This is the next step. We are now fairly clear on what the problems are and where they come from. Now it is time to be willing to change. I have always had streak of stubbornness within me. Even now, sometimes when I decide to make a change in my life, this stubbornness can come to the surface, and my resistance to changing my thinking is very strong. And this is true with everyone. Author is giving her example, but this is of course true with every one of us. I can temporarily become self-centered, angry, and withdrawn. Yes, this still goes on within me after all these years of work. It's one of my lessons. However, when this happens now, I know I am hitting an important point of change. Every time I decide to make a change in my life, to release something else, I am going to ever deeper into myself to do this. So each old layer must give way in order to be replaced with new thinking. Some of it is easy, and some of it is like trying to lift a boulder with a feather. So the more tenaciously I hold on to old belief when I say I want to make a change, the more I know this is an important one for me to release. It is only by learning these things I can teach others. So it is my opinion that many really good teachers do not come from joyful households where all was easy. They come from a place of much pain and suffering, and they have worked through the layers to reach the place where they can now help others to become free. So it is all about experiences also, not just about reading, not just about gaining knowledge, how we apply and we see real change in our lives. Then real transformations they happen and they spread. So most of the good teachers are continuously working to release even more, to remove even deeper layers of limitations, and this becomes the lifetime occupation. So it's a constant process, not just one time we have done and it is, giving us that lifetime support. The main difference between the way I used to work at releasing belief and the way I do it today is that now I do not have to be angry at myself in order to do so. So do it lovingly. It's absolutely okay. I no longer choose to believe that I am a bad person just because I find something else to change within me. So there is something to change. It doesn't mean that, you are bad or self-critical thoughts to be added. No, it is all starting with the compassion and self-love as we were reading. So the next is about house cleaning. So mental work I do now is like just like cleaning a house. I go through my mental rooms and examine the thoughts and beliefs in them. Some I love, so I polish and shine them. This is also important. While you are, just reflecting and understanding your thought process, those are really good ones. Of course, little upgrade them and, refresh them. So this is a very good word that I love them, I polish and shine them and make them even more useful. Just think, how can I make it more useful? Now, some I notice need replacement or repair. I get around to them as I can. Some are like yesterday's newspaper and old magazines or clothings that's no longer suitable. These I either give away or toss into the trash, and I let them be gone forever. This is important. So let it go forever. It is not necessary for me to be angry or to feel I am bad person in order to do this. So I think this is very important learning how it can be done with the self-compassion, because then only it will work for longer time. Now there is one nice exercise that author has given, which is about I am willing to change. Let us use affirmation. I am willing to change. Repeat this often. I am willing to change. I am willing to change. You can touch your throat as you say this. The throat is the energy center in the body where change takes place. By touching your throat, you are acknowledging you are in a process of changing. So this is also one of the way of, we always, we do affirmations and we are focusing on certain areas and we give power to it, energy to it by our words. So again, this is all about throat chakra, because as you are saying something, it's about expression. So this is one of the way that author has suggested, that you touch your throat and say this, say this. Now be willing to allow the changes to happen when they come up in your life. Be aware that where you do not want to change is exactly the area where you need to change the most. So say it, I am willing to change. So wherever you find resistance more, that is that area where you need to pay attention to it first. The universal intelligence is always responding to your thoughts and words. Things will definitely begin to change as you make these statements. Now, there are many ways to change. Working with my ideas is not the only way to change. There are many other methods that work quite well. In the back, so author has said in the back of the book, she has given, there are many lists of many ways. So just think of few now. So there are different approaches, like say spiritual approach. There is a mental approach, physical approach, holistic healing, which includes mind, body, spirit. You can begin in any one of these areas as long as you eventually include all the areas. And some begin with the mental approach and do certain therapies. Some begin in spiritual areas with a meditation and prayer. Any one of the way. When you begin to clean your house, it really doesn't matter which room you start in. Just begin in area that appeals to you most, and the others will happen almost by themselves. So wherever you feel, whichever area is like more cluttered, where you feel more resistance, I think that is the first one to, pay attention to. And just like one by one, you can go along. And with any methods, that really doesn't matter. Now, cleaning the mental house after a lifetime of indulging in negative mental thoughts is bit like going on a good nutritional program after a lifetime of indulging in junk foods. So obviously, it's a nice parallel example, but yes, it will take time. They both can often create healing crisis. As you begin to change, your physical diet, the body begins to throw off the accumulation of toxic residue. And as this happens, you can feel rather rotten for a few days or two, for one day or two. So it is when you make decision to change the mental thought patterns, your circumstances can begin to seem worse for a while. So again, this is also very important that when you start, maybe you will get little more resistances or more such a circumstances around you, because it is all that it is so much dirt or that has been accumulated. So it will show up initially, but that is the area where, that is the time where you need to keep going. You need not wait, because this is the same thing is happening. It is years and years of negative thinking, which will take time. And maybe initially you will get more resistances. So recall for a moment, at the end of the Thanksgiving dinner, the food is eaten and it's time to clean that pan. The pan is all about all burnt and crusty. So you put in hot water and soak and let it soak for a while. And then you begin to scrub the pan. And now you really have a mess. It looks worst ever than ever. But you just keep scrubbing away. Soon you will have a pan as good as new. So it is that again example, like how you do it, because you just first soak it and you scrape and scrape. So it will take little time. So it's the same thing with cleaning up dried on crusty mental patterns. So when we soak it with new ideas, all the uh, all the good comes to surface, all the greed which comes to surface to look at. Just keep doing new affirmations, and soon you will have totally cleared an old limitation. So this is all about, the process. Like it takes time, and you really need to work on it and work on it every single day. And initially, you will see the lot of resistances or many difficulties, but still the idea is to keep going. Then how? Of course, it is coming up with the next chapter. First, we will be reading tomorrow about this resistance, like how this resistance comes up, which is again from inside, and how we can overcome it. So with this, now we'll move on to the next segment, which is our guided meditation. And again, as today we are reading about the change, so we will be focusing on this part, that yes, I am willing to change now. So start sitting in some comfortable position with your spine straight and eyes closed. Keep your attention on your breathing. Take a deep inhale. Hold for a moment and slowly exhale. Let your mind and body relax in this moment. Being connect with beautiful truth. Change is safe. Growth is safe. And I am safe. Come a new version of myself. And as you're breathing in, imagine a soft golden light is born at your heart center. With your every breath, this light expands your body, relaxing every cell, every thought, and every emotion. And now, slowly, silently, say to yourself, I am willing to release old patterns. I am willing to think new thoughts. I am willing to create a new reality. I trust life and universe is guiding me beautifully. And as you are settling in this moment, you imagine that you're simply returning your true self, peaceful, loving, worthy self within you. And now, as you are inhaling, fresh energy is entering inside you, which is of new possibilities, new confidence, and new openness. And promise yourself that you will choose thoughts that supports you. With every small shift in your thought, creating a shift in your life. It's not a force, you're just allowing it. And now you're bringing this willingness, change your thought in this present moment, and you will be carrying this along with you throughout your day today. And now, slowly wiggle your toes and fingers, the palms, keep it on your eyes and face, and slowly open your eyes. And now we'll move on to our next segment.
Good morning, everyone. So, we are on the last segment, and again, a fresh new week started with a new thought that change is possible. We all must have heard of one very famous quote which says, change is inevitable, change is constant. In the entire world, if one thing is constant, is change. Times keep on changing, from the earlier days to now, advancement in every area of our life, especially in the outer world. We have upgraded and grown with every passing phase. But when it comes to going down deep within, how many of you have applied the same philosophy when it comes to changing your own belief systems and thought pattern? In the outer world, we have adopted very easily. We have changed comfortably. We have upgraded ourselves fitting to the environment, to the situation, to the circumstances. But when it comes to something changing inside, that's where we have been struggling. And that's where the challenge lies. I'm sure every one of you would be able to resonate with it, that outer change is easy to accept. Inner change is the challenge. But it is only a challenge till the time you are not willing. As we read this portion today, willingness to change will move towards the path of change. Again, with willingness comes only one thing, that is your choice. If you choose to change, if you are ready to change, if you promise yourself to change, if you commit to change, you will be able to see the change and welcome it in your life. So, now again, today being the day of writing affirmations, we'll 100% focus our affirmations on this habit of building that change within, habit of easily accepting this change and making a new reality. So, I'll be sharing my screen here. You all can get ready with your journals to write down the affirmations and make it simple, make it easy and possible in your real life. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to the text box. So here we go. And whenever we start writing affirmations, we try to just weave it in a way that it leads towards the purpose we are writing for. To start with, what is the first thing you need when you need to change? Your willingness. So that is where we start the affirmation today. I'm willing to grow and evolve every day, or I'm willing to change and grow every day. I'm willing to change and grow every day. Now, every day, why it is important? Because it's a daily practice. It doesn't, I didn't mention the number. It's a daily practice. The more you do it, the better for you. The faster you'll see the results. So that's why if you promise yourself that I'm willing to change, first is that willingness should be there, because many people you might have come across who are already struggling a lot in life. You know that if they make these changes, things will be better for them. But even how much you try, it will not be possible for them because they are not willing. They are not ready. They are not in the space to change. So the willingness is a first step. Change will come later. First is the willingness. So you also need the same thing. Once you are ready, once you show that willingness and the willingness to see that change happening in life, you need to start trusting yourself, because doubt will not help you to adapt change easily. So I trust myself to handle change with courage. So you need to trust. I trust myself to handle change with courage. Because what happens, change करने के लिए क्या सबसे बड़ा resistance है? It is basically the fear of unknown, fear of what will happen, fear of things you are not aware of, fear of future, fear of rejection, and fear of people pleasing. Many more kind of such fears keep on popping in our head because we get into the loop of overthinking. तो ये ट्रस्ट करना बहुत जरूरी है कि when I've decided I'm ready to change, I trust myself I'll be able to handle the change with courage, with confidence. That will help you to take next step the other day. Now, once you start believing in yourself, you accept or you embrace the change with calm and open mind. Embracing something is like you are with open arms, you are accepting something in your life. So I embrace change with a calm and open mind. Now, here, open mind means mind of growth, mind which is not blocking you from taking actions, mind which is not taking you back to the past belief systems, mind which is ready to grow, mind which is ready to accept change. So you are accepting change with calm. It's not the restlessness, it's not desperation, because the change with desperation will also not really lead you to productive results. So then, once you have accepted with calmness, with a lot of thought, it's a decision you have made with peace, then you are ready. Ready to do what? You are ready to let go of what which has not served you for good in the past. Because उसी की वजह से तो हम आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रहे थे. Something which we were holding tight. We believed it is important. We believe because of which things might not be able to move ahead. But now I'm ready because मेरे को willingness है, trust है, I accept it. Now, what is that one thing? I let go. So I am ready. Sorry. I am ready to let go of what no longer serves me. ये बड़ा अच्छा सा affirmation है. Let go करना, it sounds difficult, but it's not that complicated. Again, it comes with one decision in your head. The day you decide, you are ready to move ahead on that path also. But the day you keep on telling me, or telling, sorry, yourself, that ये नहीं हो पाएगा, ये तो भूल ही नहीं पाऊंगी, this will remain with me forever. You are affirming by these strong words. So you have to start telling yourself, I will let go. I am letting go something not serving me. So the more you repeat, you will see things are smoothly happening without major challenge in your head. And last, but the most important, I choose. What do you choose? You choose growth even when it feels uncomfortable. Kyuki comfort zone, if you remember, we discussed about it in the previous morning session. That comfort zone is the most dangerous zone. So I choose growth even when it feels uncomfortable. क्योंकि uncomfortable तो लगेगा ही initially. It will not be comfortable. If it would have been that easy, you would have done it without even discussion. So it's not that easy, we all understand. So uncomfortable to hai. But if you promise yourself how uncomfortable it is, I'm still ready to grow. Even when it feels uncomfortable, is what I'm telling myself. Now, with these kind of affirmations, you keep on reminding yourself and building your inner strength from your willingness to your choice. You will see that things will start moving ahead faster. So, this is one of the approaches. I'll be just stopping my screen here. Same list of affirmations I'll be sharing in the group as well. 1 second. Yeah. I'll be sharing in the group as well. But just stick on one of those which you feel is the area of your requirement. Start repeating and give that comfort to yourself because we all understand that words have power. If my negative words can sabotage my self belief, my positive statements can build my self confidence and give me strength to fight back. On that note, we end today's session. We meet tomorrow again, going deeper into the insight where we understand how we are going to take a step ahead to see the difference happening in life. Thank you. Have a great, positive day. Bye bye and take care.